And those are today's headlines. Let's have a closer look at those one by one.
The country's outbound shipments rose around 3% in the first 10 days of December compared to a year ago, according to a preliminary data from the Korea Customs Service.
관세청이 발표한 수출액 잠정치 자료에 따르면 이달 10일까지의 수출이 1년 전보다 3%가량 증가한 것으로 나타났습니다. Tell us more, Paul.
Exports are up. They were marking $15.79 billion in that cited period, and that's up 3.3% on year. Average daily exports were increasing by 18%, and the number of working days decreasing by 1 to 7. Then we have exports of ships and automobiles. They were rising 14.3% and 13.2% respectively. Semiconductors are down. They slipped 4% on year during this period, this 10-day period. We also saw imports dropping for this period, 15.3% on year to around $17.2 billion. And that means we have a trade deficit for this time of $1.46 billion. That's smaller than the deficit, the shortfall we had a month ago, which was $1.74 billion.
Now, obviously, we aim to have a trade surplus.
Exactly. So we're getting one step closer.
Okay. All right. Well, let's have a look at this expression here. You did mention that this is about exports.
Yes.
Another word for that would be outbound shipments.
Yes, we talk about outbound going out, inbound going in, homeward bound, you're John Denver. You're going home. So if you're bound somewhere, that is where you are going. We don't use the term bound very much for ourselves now. I'm not going to say I'm bound for home, but people used to say it. Used to be a very common expression. But we do use outbound and inbound a lot, meaning going out and coming in. We'll use it for exports and imports. We'll also use it for passengers.
Sure.
Leaving a country or coming into a country.
Also on the subway as well, the announcements. You might hear this. If
The
this
train
line is-
bound for Ilsan.
Yes, exactly. bound라는 게 어디를 향해 가다라는 뜻이 있습니다. 자, 그래서 outbound는 나라 밖으로 나간다. 그러니까 수출이 되겠고요. Inbound shipments 그러면 나라 안으로 들어오니까 수입이 되겠죠.
And if you want to leave a message about this expression, you can leave it on the boundy board.
네, 알겠습니다. 자, 그리고 preliminary data에 의한 것이다라고 했는데요. What's
If
that?
something is preliminary, it's the first stages. We're getting the first sight of something. So it may turn out that things change, but certainly it's the first set or the first results we're getting.
preliminary라는 것은 예비 뭐뭐뭐, 임시 뭐뭐뭐라는 뜻이 있어요. 축구에서 preliminary round 그러면 예선전입니다.
네.
자, 여기서 근데 preliminary data라고 했기 때문에 이제 처음에 나오는 어떤 그 잠정치가 나와 있는 데이터를 말하고 있다고 볼 수 있겠죠. That is what the Korea Customs Service has announced so far. 자, 그러면 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. The country's outbound shipments rose around 3% in the first 10 days of December compared to a year ago, according to preliminary data from the Korea Customs Service. Now let's move on to the second headline.